Welcome to the jungle in London. No, seriously, this might look like the tropics, but it's my balcony in London, England. And in this special episode, I'm going to show you my top 3 funniest poker hands of the year. And I promise you, you won't be able to stop laughing when you see them. So let's have a look.
It all starts as you would expect it to be. We open pocket jacks here on the button, small blind calls, big blind calls. We flop top set here on a very wet board. We go for a 15. In hindsight, I could have made it bigger, but it's okay. Small blind calls, big blind calls as well. There is a blank on the turn. We now make it 75 into 90. Both players call again. And now not only does the flush come in, but we also boat up. Small blind checks, big blind now goes for about half pot. I thought what to do here, but yeah, I think the only course of action is to go all in and get maximum value from a flush. So we go all in and small blind snaps us off. I have never seen a quicker snap call than this one. And then big blind tanked forever and he called as well. And then this happened. Big blind called with the nut flush, that's fine. But what did small blind call with? Is that king high? But wait, it gets better. So this is a 2-5. Under the gun, straddles. The cutoff maniac goes 25. We cold call this because he's such a maniac, so happy to do that. Everyone who can gets involved, and now we flop this here. The maniac predictably bets here. He could do this with 7-5 offsuit for what it's worth. So we call bottom pair and the chance to make the nuts. The other two players get out of the way. 7 of diamonds doesn't change anything. He now goes 50. We still don't want to go anywhere because, as I said, he could do this with anything. And now on the river we get our gin card. It's an offsuit jack. We have the nuts and the maniac now overbets. So I think he also has a queen here, but why not? It's a free roll. Let's just jam. And he tanks now, so makes me think that he might have a hand, but probably no queen. And then he says, oh, well, I mean, I do have a queen, but I'm not proud of my kicker. I think you have a queen with a better kicker. And then he folds face up. He folds queen deuce. He folds a queen, he folds the nuts because he thought that his kicker plays and his deuce kicker is just not good enough. And this is my favorite one, and don't worry, I'm not going to play 9-4 offsuit under the gun. I was just a spectator in this hand, but we got a bunch of limps, and then Beluga makes it 12 in the small blind. Everyone calls. Ace 10-3 with a flush draw. Beluga makes it 20. The reg in the big blind calls. The other two players get out of the way. Now the flush completes. Beluga makes it 20 into 100 now, so he repeats his bet from the flop, which is usually indicative of a pretty strong hand, but not a nutted hand. So something like a good ace, but not a flush. The reg calls again, and now on the river it pairs the board. However, it also brings in the 4 flush, and now Beluga goes for the £5 bet into a pot of 140. The reg raises him also only to 30, still not a lot of money in the pot. And now Beluga snap folds face up, and he shows ace 10 suited for the absolute nuts here, but he says you must have a flush, I can't be good here. And it's really nuts because they both had over 600 pounds behind. And the funny thing is that the big blind also had a boat. He had ace 3, so both of them had full houses. They should have gone all in. Beluga should have stacked the big blind, and instead he just lost this pot because he couldn't read his hand, or he thought that a flush is higher than a full house. I don't know what was going on there, but everyone at the table just couldn't believe what they saw in this hand.